and I'm all alone here by myself. So I will entertain myself for the next couple minutes, and hopefully we'll get some folks back. This is really frustrating. I just do not understand what is going on with YouTube today. So, wow, very frustrating. Look at that. I had a good audience turn up there, and it just all went to crap because they dropped off. So it says I'm back on now, but I am just by myself. There's Just a Ghost. Welcome back, Just a Ghost. Oh, jeez. YouTube. I see. He said, "Hey, what is with YouTube today? Do I smell funny? I know my hair is kind of messed up here. I look like some kind of hippie. Maybe that's offended YouTube. What is going on? Yeah, it's a YouTube muzzle. Definitely. Did you see what's happening with the oil price? No, I didn't. What's happening with the oil price? Is it going back up? I would imagine it should be going up because the Russians, the Saudis, and President Trump on the side there, kind of talking to them, have worked together to lower production with the idea that we stop having a glut of oil because oil prices drop because there's just too much supply, because people can't do anything. They're locked in their homes. They're not driving around in their cars and buying petrol. So that's part of the problem there. So anyway, I don't know what the spiel is here with the oil price, but I would expect that it's up. So have you seen anything? I see 3 today. Oh, it fell. It fell. Why did it fall? Did we announce more lockdowns? Hooray. Yeah, if you can actually go somewhere, man. Hooray. All right, looks like folks are coming back now. Thanks for rejoining. We had 14 when we got clipped off there by YouTube. So let me see. Now we've got just a handful of people here. Oh, this is crazy. All right, let me see. One more time, I'll see what the participants here. All right, this is why I have to go back to my using my PC because it's just too tiny to see these little clicks. But okay, well, let me talk about something I promised to talk about earlier, and then when the questions come, yeah, bloody YouTube. I think I'd ask Nicholas about when you were in first SAI. If you don't mind answering that, please share that. But let me talk about this news article, which was very disturbing. Not the red ants. We've already talked about red ants. Those guys. Anyway, but let me talk about this. This is a report. This was from the Daily Maverick. I got this, or no, it wasn't Daily Maverick. It was another site. Anyway, the title of this article is "Counselors Accused of Looting Food Parcels Meant for the Poor," and there are several authors here because these are a consolidation of news reports that came from all over the 1 cent for oil. There must be something strange going on there. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, $27 a barrel. That sounds more like it. That's what I expected. It dropped to 20 and then went back to 25, and it's been in that range from 25 to 30 since then. Counselors. Okay, let's get to this. So the alleged incidents of corruption and food looting have been reported in 8 provinces, where there were claims that those in charge of the distributions, mostly ANC counselors, were not giving the food to families that were most in need. So government's attempts to feed the poor and vulnerable during the extended lockdown are being hampered by opportunists. As opportunists, mainly local councillors, allegedly divert the aid to themselves and their supporters, and in some instances sell them on. Well, no doubt this is happening, and I'm not in the least bit surprised, not even for a microsecond, that this sort of thing would take place by politicians trying to take advantage of the situation for personal gain. After all, as I mentioned previously, one of the challenges here is that in South Africa, what has happened in the post-apartheid era is that people have been conditioned to learn that the way that you become wealthy, successful, influential, and a success in South Africa, other than making a sex tape, is that you become a politician, in particular an ANC politician. So you get your hands on the levers of the tender process, and you can take things or bribes. And so it's not surprising that members of government, and not all of them are ANC councillors, there are members of other parties who are responsible too, but it's not at all surprising that they would take advantage of this because, quite frankly, these scum who do this don't serve the people. They serve themselves and or the party. And I would not believe that the party is behind this or wants this to happen. This does not reflect well on the ANC in particular that this is happening, and it's not going to help them at the polls in the 2021 municipal elections. So let's run through some of this. In some parts of the country, councillors have been accused of demanding food parcel donations from businesses. And then the businesses that donated, those parcels never get to any recipients, at least not free of charge. So community activists and political parties, government officials are now warning that this opportunism is beginning to mirror the looting that took place at the time of the funeral of Nelson Mandela in 2013, when connected people channeled millions of food for memorials to themselves. Yeah, yep. So in Northwest, I'll read through a few of these. Storage capacity with With oil or with YouTube? Are they running out of server space or running out of place to store the oil? Well, actually, IC3ZA, you are correct. One of the problems here is there's only so much storage capacity for oil. Even if you fill up all the tankers and every storage tank around the world, you can't keep pumping oil when it's not being consumed. So we ironically are falling into a glut. The fact that oil is still at $27 a barrel, I find surprising. I honestly would expect it to be below $10 a barrel at this point. Oh, there you go, 11 hours. Oh, $11. There you go. Hey, now I look prescient. Look at that. IC3ZA says 5 hours ago, the spot price was down to $11. And what did I just say? $10, below $10. In a true marketplace, I don't know what the current consumption is, but normally in the world, we consume about 89 to 90 million barrels a day globally. Maybe it's a little bit more than that now because the economy was growing earlier this year. But the amount of oil being consumed must be far lower than that. I mean, look, hundreds of thousands of commercial airliner flights every day are down to just a few thousand in many places, or none. Let's see. So back to this. So in the Northwest, Rustenburg, Zeerust, in Ramotsera, Molala, local municipality in Zeerust, 2 ANC councillors were suspended following allegations that they were asking for food parcel contributions from businesses, including foreign-owned ones, for personal gain. The councillors were suspended by the ANC. Shocking, not. The EFF and the DA in the province have accused office holders of abusing their powers and resources meant to ease the plight of the poor during the COVID-19 coronavirus lockdown to campaign ahead next year's local government elections. Oh, okay. So now, we've talked about this. We said that it would be in the interest of the opposition parties to be active, particularly in areas where they govern, to be showing their presence, to show that they're making a difference in local governments, they care about their constituents. That's one thing. But to intentionally take the resources and use it as a campaign tactic, it's a fine line, but it is different. And so whether that's true or not, it would be interesting. But nonetheless, that's what's happening in Northwest. So let's switch to Mpumalanga. So in Mpumalanga, the EFF's chairperson in Mpumalanga, Colin Sidibe, laid criminal charges against Jeanette Tabete and SA Social Security Agency acting regional manager Kadibone Matabula after a truck allegedly delivered food parcels to Tabete's house in Tekwana South outside Mbombela. I got to be honest with you, folks, when these towns all had Afrikaner names, Afrikaans names, it was a lot easier for me to pronounce them, some of them. Yeah. Anyway, allegedly allegedly Sidibe alleged that the food parcels were being distributed at night to the identified ANC members' households. We warn the ANC that they must not use the COVID-19 pandemic for campaigning and cheap political point scoring. But that warning fell on deaf ears because corruption is endemic in the ANC, he said. Okay, that's Colin Sidibe, the EFF's chairperson in Mpumalanga. Clearly, there is no romance between the EFF and the ANC continuing to this day. Wow. Anyway, for their part, the person accused said that they never received a truck of food parcels. There you go. Shifting to Limpopo. All right. Lazarus Baloy, an ANC ward councillor in Collins Chabane's municipality in Malumulule, is facing a police investigation after he was accused of selling proof of residence documents for RAND 300 to community members. Well, there you go. So this is kind of like when the government pointed out that they were going to provide some sort of assistance to informal traders, to the informal sector, and that they were told to go to their ward councilors to get the certification. And so what happens? You want a document, the appointed politician wants a bribe. That was shifted and changed. You had to contact the department or ministry. They say departments in South Africa like we do in the States, but the ministry that was responsible for it. There you go. All right, let me look at here, and I'll come back to Gauteng in a second. Let's see. Water purification, riot control, and deployment after drone maneuvers in Ratel. Ratel. I love the Ratel. Great vehicle. Armored vehicles with 20mm guns. Foot patrols. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Paulie, Nicholas, thank you. Yeah, thanks for your service, Nicholas. It was a tough time to serve in the SADF. Yep. No absorption, undisciplined. MK, yeah. Well, but remember that you point out, Nicholas says that the absorption of undisciplined MK into the SADF to become the SANDF was a problem. But also remember that the SADF became the SANDF not